David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Welcome back to my travel show. It's all about Flamingo. Flamingo is back, and yes, I'm dressed appropriately for the show, giving you an Everglades National Park update. We visited Flamingo. It's the end of the line in Everglades National Park, which is here in South Florida. If you look at the big map of Everglades National Park, it's the bottom tip of Florida. I live over here on the left in Key Largo. We went up the road, up the stretch on Route 1, took a left, went through Florida City, and drove all the way down to the end, to Flamingo, the end of the line, the ultimate destination, Everglades National Park. Here I'm going to talk about today a lot going on because this area was severely damaged first in Wilma, and then further damaged during 2005, then further damaged during Irma in 2017. Ian did miss her last year, thankfully. And a lot's been going on there to finally get it back to full recovery, which has been missing since 2005, since Wilma hit it. We're going to talk about the new visitor center, talking about a new hotel going in at first build, and a new restaurant too. Used to be a restaurant there before. I ate there back in 2004, my first year in town in Key Largo, and a full tour of the campsites there because it's a really special area. Those are doing pretty well and ready for customers. As always, like this show wherever you're watching it and share. It really does help me out. And leave a comment or question. I'll answer it here on the air, or if you're watching recording, I'll answer it then too. And subscribe to my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel where all my shows are on archive. So first off, the key one to see is when you get there are these big pink buildings, the Guy Bradley Visitor Center. When you watch this tour I did, I got some clips from our tour yesterday when we were in the national park. You'll see that the main structure is still there, was damaged since 2005, and they're finally bringing it back. The timeline is still not known. We saw a presentation by a person last year from the national park. He came down the Keys and talked about us. His timeline was more aggressive than what's actually happening, but the person in the visitor center that's currently there, the temporary visitor center, didn't know, but I kind of cover that in the video here. So for our first video, going to get right into it for you guys. It's talking about the new visitor center, which is the old visitor center, but it's going to be opening soon. Check it out. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency here, Everglades National Park. I'm in Flamingo. Can't you tell by the color of the buildings behind me? We are here at the end of the road when you're in Everglades National Park from the main entrance in Homestead, Florida, just outside Florida City. You follow the road all the way down and go past numerous wonderful stops. You'll end up here in Flamingo, a full-service campground, marina, boat ramp, soon-to-be restaurant, and new visitor center. Behind me is the old visitor center, which was here for many years until 2005, and Hurricane Wilma came right through this area and absolutely flooded it, water over my head, and wiped this place out. And they've all marinas back redone. That's been working fine. And the visitor center is now moving across the street, across the actual walkway, to where the restaurant used to be. If you came here in 2004 like I did, or before then, before Wilma, this was a restaurant and a museum down bottom, which is going to be restored. We're looking forward to this. We had a timeline last January of sometime 2022. That did not happen. We're here in early February 2023. But we're looking forward to a return of the Guy Bradley Visitor Center, and what's going to be new law enforcement headquarters, more room for them to operate, because they operate park rangers here, and some also other federal officers operate out of this wonderful marina, which we have clips for you on this show to show you. Then my producer, Bonnie's going to scroll around and show you the current visitor center. So when you currently come here the next few months, don't park and come to this area because it's all closed off. There's a small building behind you where the small bathrooms are, and she'll show that for you right now as I keep talking. We're looking forward to a expansive visitor center. We saw some mock-ups last January when Alan Jones spoke at the Florida Keys History and Discovery Center. Did a wonderful job. He was just off on his timelines. It is the federal government. That's okay. Then down bottom, as we showed you, the Guy Bradley sign behind me is going to be a wonderful museum interpretive center. They are bringing in brand new, a new restaurant build and a new hotel they did not have before, which we're going to show off in video clips in a minute. And that's to my left here, past the visitor center. Brand new builds, really modern construction, low impact on the ground, very high up to avoid future floods, because this is a flood zone here, even king tides affect it. And as I said, Irma was this tall. So look forward to this. No timeline just yet. We talked to Roxanne in the visitor center, and she had no real timeline. It keeps getting pushed back. But probably middle of this year, you'll have a brand new, wonderful visitor center, law enforcement area, lodging area, and restaurant down the street. Next up, we'll show you those features. I'm excited because like I said, I ate in that main building when it was a restaurant. That's going to be the visitor center. And our speaker last year, Alan, I had his last name wrong. He did a great job with his mock-up showing us the artist rendering. It looks amazing, all new age, modern. And law enforcement gets a whole big building. That was the visitor center. Looking forward to that. Again, no exact timeline, but I'll keep you posted on my Facebook page and all my Instagram out there when I post pictures if I have a timeline for you guys. So moving on our tour, we're going to check out a hotel. That's right. This is a new build on real estate that was already cleared, and it was just kind of sitting there as part of future parking. They decided to take old shipping containers, nice recycle program, and build a hotel. It's a very unique looking hotel. It's not going to be a lot of units, but they already have pricing out there, and I'll talk about pricing a little bit at the end. It's going to be very interesting. I look forward to staying here. It's going to be the new Flamingo Hotel coming to the area very soon. Again, no time on set. We did walk through the area and took some pictures and video we're going to show you now. I will say, well, that visitor center looks like it's about to open. This one, there's still a lot of work to go, but the structures are up, as you'll see right now in this video.
Welcome back, David Hartman. Our tour of Everglades National Park continues. Right behind me is Florida Bay. And brand new, we're going to show you next, is new to the national park. Lodging facilities, yes, hotel rooms, but very unique hotel rooms made of old containers. An amazing recycling program here. We are just west of the new visitor center that's being built, the current visitor center. And to my right, we're going to show you the restaurant in a second. But check out these facilities they're going to have. They look pretty basic from the outside, but looks are deceiving. We see beautiful AC units on the side, very efficient AC units where you have the wall mount in your actual room, maybe multi-room units, we'll see. You can tell by the components on the outside, these were old shipping containers, recycled down, and then they were insulated on the inside a little bit for the heat. Beautiful metal roofs and wonderful slided windows. We're expecting some decks out here, so we have some views. And from that height, you're going to have a view of Florida Bay, a view of the water, because these trees here, these mangroves, aren't very tall. This is the last unit and the most complete we can see because the paint job is done. We are here in early February 2023. And as we get down this way, there's a number of buildings. There's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it for the lodging and multiple units. Probably about 16 units total. So make sure you plan ahead when they go up for reservations. And then the bigger building with the multiple windows on the right, with a nice white paint job with no roof yet, that is going to be the restaurant, brand new restaurant. There was a restaurant here for many years, as we talked about. And now one's coming back, which is going to be close to the lodging, which is fantastic. And we are just a short walk down one of the trails, the Guy Trail, the visitor center names trail. To this point, you can take this trail walking this way too. We're only concerned right now, as we'll see when it's open, is the visitor center, the restaurant does not have a view quite yet, so we'll see what happens with that. But most of the lodging here does have a view, and we're looking forward to that opening. And our tour continues.
That's impressive. I'm looking forward to this. And from what I can tell, there's different types of units available. And I will share some pricing with you later when it goes out. But wow, what a great use of containers. And probably going to be about, I think, 16 units to 25 units. The presentation last year, I don't remember sure, but don't quote me on that because they're still building them. And again, when I have an opening timeline, you'll be the first to know through my social media. But very exciting. If you don't like camping, you don't like even glamping, wait for glamping. I have some impressive glamping coming up. And you're a hotel person only, want to hide from the bugs, fantastic. But this will probably bring some more traffic to Flamingo in the summertime because it's pretty brutal in the Everglades in the summer. The heat and the bugs is pretty intense. Climate-controlled environment, why not stay in a place with a view and enjoy a very quiet national park? As we move on through the show, next up, we're going to talk about camping right down the road. If we kept following that trail past that last building on the other side of the restaurant, that would lead to their campsites. They have walk-in campsites. They have these eco tents that are glamping to the nth degree. And then they have multiple types of pull-in campsites for your car, electric hookup and non-electric hookup, where you actually, camp out right by your vehicle. And they also have, RV sites, things like that. And there's different price points for all of these. First off, I want to cover the walk-in campsites. This is just a great open field. And we had a nice surprise when we got there. Someone was setting up for some nighttime activities.
Now we're camping in Everglades National Park. David Hartman back with you here. We moved farther down from the Guy Bradley Visitor Center. We're towards the end of the park, and we're here at the walk-in campsites. You park in the lots I'm staring at right now, linear lots, and then you have all these sites to choose from. You don't have to check in and pay for them at the Visitor Center. You turn left before the check-in gate for the main campsites for bigger campers. Then you come here early, pick your spot like this man behind me has done with the green tent. And to our right, a guy's here doing astronomy tonight. Not sure if he's camping out or just for astronomy, but what a perfect place for something like that. What an activity. Then obviously we have comfort stations, solar powered, which is amazing. That's off to my right. Here's just old transformer station. And then back, of course, is the view of Florida Bay. Not much cover here, but what a view. And every single table you see is a different campsite. So think of the village that could be here during a nice winter evening and a winter afternoon. Would be fantastic. Summertime camping here is going to be extremely hot, extremely buggy. I guarantee you'll have the place to yourself if you decide to do that, but who knows? Maybe that's your thing. Next up, we're going to show you some amazing glamping tent sites, the eco tent sites, and then there are more full campsites. May get some footage there, but that's behind a gated area. But next up, stay tuned for the glamping campsites. Can't wait to see them.
So cool. Just pull up to your car, take your stuff, walk out there. Set up your way. That guy was smart in front of us. By the way, for a Friday afternoon, we were surprised how quiet it was, but people were arriving in droves to the main campsite as we were leaving, and they were starting to come into these sites. So I don't know how crowded it gets, but that field gets pretty full on certain times of year, on certain cool evenings. Wonderful, wonderful. That guy had a tent that had a smart walk farther up, then had a chair down by the water. That's how you do it. So if tent camping's not for you, and you don't have an RV or a camper, well, they have glam sites, eco tents. We got a nice tour for you of eco tents. We're going to show you the boardwalk of these 16 different tents, and then we actually get up close and show you the inside. They actually have a nice surprise on the inside. These are the eco tents on Everglades National Park in the Flamingo area.
1, 2, 3.
Camping continues at Everglades National Park. We're in the eco tents, what I call the glamping section. Numerous tents and canopies with furniture during the on-season, which is basically mid-November to early April, here right in the middle between the walk-in tents and the main campground. As you see behind me as we walk down this way, there are numerous of these kind of lean-to looking things. They're actually tents with metal structures. And inside, we'll give you a little sneak peek on one that's not checked into yet here in the weekend in early February. Actual furniture with a fan, not air conditioning, air conditioning. But look how many are down here. I got some nice birds playing. We're right on Florida Bay to our left. Definitely request one on the water. These two here are basically as close as you can get to oceanfront real estate. This is E7 and E8. And then there's two more behind us that way. We'll show you in a second. But this boardwalk keeps going. Very safe, very eco-friendly. And no animals crawling in your tent because you are actually elevated on a metal platform in a very secure metal tent structure. There's a few people staying here already. They have rave reviews about it. Next, we're going to show you the interior from the outside of one of these amazing units. These eco tents, they're called. The furniture is only here through April of every year because it gets too humid. You can rent these out and bring your own tent, and if you're here for the summertime and don't mind heat and bugs, you're very secure in this nice tented screen porch. But the key to get them is the wintertime here. I'm actually holding the lock, the combination. That's how you get in. This one's not checked into yet. And I'm looking at a couple chairs, a couple footrests, a nice fan, a little entertainment set, it looks like. Wow. And then we got 2 beds, towels. This is the real deal. Nice bedding, real fantastic. I'll put some pictures on my Instagram to actually show you guys more. And then in where we entered this area from the parking lot, very short walk from the parking lot, there is a comfort station. And the parking lot does have carts. And I'm looking at down here, there is some power. There's actually a battery pack down here, so there's a little bit of power going on. So this is like the newest thing here at Everglades National Park. They built these boardwalks a few years ago, once Wilma kind of decimated this area. Got a nice walking trail here out to the water. Make sure you check with the park ranger if you can actually take that trail. And we're just adjacent to the walking campsites. Again, take a left before the gate for the main campground to get to the eco tents. Unload your car, load your stuff in, and enjoy. What a fantastic way to camp. Can't wait to do it.
How cool is that? Come on. Wonderful. I'm impressed. Bonnie's been talking about these for a long time, my producer Bonnie, and we're going to book it. Obviously, we're going to do it in the time when they're furnished because they're not furnished in the summertime for good reason, the humidity. We're going to book a furnished one, and there's a choice of 1 to 2 beds. Looking forward to it. Look at that view and make sure you know, if there's diagrams online, Everglades National Park. You can find people who post them. Make sure you request one that has that beautiful water view. You get right in the path to go to the water. Absolutely wonderful. By the way, I want to get a shout out to some people watching. My first live show of the year. It's been a little bit delayed getting them. But I saw Janice Spivak, my big friend out there and big follower. William Gauthier, my client from Connecticut, is fantastic. Lisa Manji, Executive Director, History of Dive Museum. Admel, my friend Admel's out there. Mark Post, high school friend. How's it going, Mark? Good to see some diehards back on the show. Good to have you guys back live here on a Saturday evening. Next up, I want to cover Westlake. This is like a bonus part of the show. I covered Flamingo. That's what's going on Flamingo. It's coming back strong after 18 years of since the first damage, and it's almost there. I'll keep you posted when. I want to talk about Westlake. Westlake, we saw it on the map on the way down our GPS, and we want to check out that area. It's a huge lake. Drive right in. There's a nice parking area. Turns out there's a picnic area and an amazing boardwalk to an overview. So first, I want to cover the picnic area, which has bathrooms, very important when you're in these dispersed national parks. Has a boat ramp for small motorized vessels, either canoe, kayaks, or up to 6 horsepower small vessels to cruise around. And this Westlake connects all the way through different bodies of water through mangroves out to the ocean, although the motorized vessels have to stay in Westlake. Wonderful, wonderful area. Nice kind of hidden gem worth checking out right when you leave Flamingo on the right on your way out back to the national park entrance.
Tour of Everglades National Park continues. We're here in Westlake. This is a little thumb off Westlake. There's dockage here. Small boats with 6 horsepower can launch here. Small little boat ramp. Old concrete docks that survived hurricanes because it's isolated. This is actually a freshwater lake in the Everglades. Birds in the distance. Some people enjoying the atmosphere near sunset. We got some bathrooms back here. Good little map, and check out this picnic area. There's our sunset. Ooh. Very cool. And we're just outside, just east of Flamingo. So visit Flamingo and check this out on the right on the way out. And then that trailhead left to that car where we're going next. Down that trailhead is the main lake. Stay tuned for that.
Coming up next, that's the picnic area. Very impressive. I've been to National Park many times over the years. I've lived here 19 years now in Key Largo, and I don't get to Everglades enough. I'm now promising to go more and show you guys more footage. We're going to have a full show about the camping out there. Can't really live stream there. Connectivity's bad. As soon as you cross in the Ernest Poe visitors at the entrance, you lose connectivity from most cell phones connections. But what an amazing area. And to have that so close to Flamingo right there to just hang out, have a picnic, or go boating is wonderful. But even better is this tour coming up. Check out this boardwalk and the view you get. And to kind of end the show here, a wonderful sunset.
Completing the Westlake Trail boardwalk to the main lake. This is an inland lake just off of Florida Bay, just east of Flamingo Visitor Center. Beautiful. There's a fork, doesn't matter because it all comes out to here. Nice wraparound boardwalk. Beautiful, well done. Damage probably from previous storms, maybe as far back as Irma. Ian didn't really affect here recently. This is early February 2023 when you're watching this. And I guess this is probably from Irma, which did come through here pretty close. What a boardwalk. I've not been down here before at all. And I got to come down here more. This is fantastic. Every part of the Everglades is great, but this part is a little quieter, farther drive, farther away from the main entrance, the Cove Visitor Center. We're just up from the Guy Bradley Visitor Center. New one's about to open soon, hopefully. And check this out. Gorgeous. There's our sunset. We're here just for you guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The nature here is just a hair quieter, a hair better. We notice in the parking lot the trees are just full of moss.
How beautiful is that? And that's a wrap. We're going to end this show on that note, this Everglades Park update. If you need to reach out to me for travel of any reason, I am a customized vacation destination specialist, and I can book any national park or a vacation around the world, 305-453-9208 or dave@bucketwithstrip.com. If you're new to this show, the reason we do this show is to inspire others with education and inspirational moments to inspire you to take your next bucket list trip. This was our Everglades National Park review. Flamingo is back, almost 100% back. It looks great. The marina, the dockage, everything is looking awesome. Please take a visit. Don't just go to Royal Palm. Everyone goes to Everglades National Park and goes to Royal Palm. Get in there and spend the time and go to Flamingo. Speed limit 55 the whole way down there. We actually made it in record time. It was amazing. On today's show, we covered the new visitor center, the new hotel being put in, the new restaurant, and the campsite tour. If you're just watching now, please check it out in recording and look forward to a new show coming soon. You guys have a fantastic Saturday evening.